From Jordan Walker, Grayson Rodriguez, to Jackson Chourio, here are all the greatest MLB rookie prospects for 2023, starting with the one and only Gunnar Henderson, 3BSS Orioles. Yep, he was the guy who Baseball Prospectus and Baseball America both named the #1 prospect. Can you imagine? He's the second Orioles young player in a row to hold this title. The first was catcher Adley Rutschman, of course, and the fact that Henderson has already made it to Baltimore is just amazing. He joined Rutschman for a short time at the end of 2022.
3-2, hammered the other way. Fan back for the wall, has to play it off the green.
When the O's made a surprise run for the playoffs, the 21-year-old, who's got golden hair, can play short, but most likely ends up at third. Trust me when I tell you, it's not easy to find flaws in his plan. And there's proof. A great 2022 showed that he could hit 30 home runs, have a .275 average, steal at least a few bases, and play good defense at a tough position. This made him a favorite for AL Rookie of the Year.
Henderson drills one into right field. That is down for a base hit. Mountcastle is waved home, and Arias goes first to third.
And you know who's after him on this list? Corbin Carroll of D-backs. He might be what Mighty Mouse would be like if he played baseball. Yes, the left-handed pitcher, who is 22 and 5 feet 10 inches tall, has a whole lot of power for his size. But if you're hoping for a sneak attack power stroke like Mookie Betts or Jose Ramirez, be aware that Carroll, at least for now, has a lot more swings and misses in his game. His ultimate potential depends on how many hits he can make and whether he becomes a great center fielder or a great corner outfielder. Still, he hit 28 home runs and stole 33 bases in 2022. Also, the guy played in 93 games at 3 levels of the minor leagues and 32 games in the major league. So, if you look at it from a fantasy baseball POV, then he should for real be at the top of the list. This reminds me.
The second, Carson Kelly punches one into the right field corner. And look at Carroll go.
Do you like big, beefy dingers? Because this next guy hits some of the hardest, loudest, and most impressive balls in all of baseball. Francisco Alvarez. See, Mets. He's just 21 years old, but has got a whole lot of more patience than most of us. The only question is whether the Mets want to send him to AAA to improve his defense behind the plate, or let him play a full season in the major leagues.
To the ball, which he did. If you notice there, it looked like to me he was thinking of backhanding it to Lindor, but didn't think he'd have enough time to get the out at second base. Yes, he was thinking about it and then pulled it back and had enough strength in that arm.
At least one scout thinks it's true that he needs a little more time at AAA, because even though he only played 45 games there last year, that still doesn't mean he needs to stay there for another full season. Remember when Steve Cohen thought the New York Mets needed another bat, so they went after Carlos Correa. This tells you that even if Alvarez isn't behind the plate every day, he'll still need to be in the batter's box if Omar Narvaez doesn't get back to his 2019 form, or if Tomas Nido doesn't find a way to hit out of the blue. So yeah, let's see.
And Reynolds lifts one out to center. That'll get a run in. Pocket tagging at third. The Shields under it. Both runners will advance. Hawka scores. Cortez to third. Sacrifice fly from Matt Reynolds makes it 8.
He'll probably be up by June. Also, I've got to tell you about the most exciting prospect in the minors, Jordan Walker, OF Cardinals. Sometimes the book inside does happen to match the cover, and the 20-year-old's 6'5" frame is intimidating, but it's just a sign that he's going to be a big league cleanup hitter with a lot of power. Getting on a good team is harder for a prospect, and one of MLB's top lineups belongs to the St. Louis Cardinals. He'll be too good to stay in Springfield when you see how powerful his bat is and how consistent his professional record has been so far. And if he makes it to the big leagues, he won't waste away on the bench. So the team might trade someone to make room for him and add depth somewhere else, probably in the bullpen. But no matter how things turn out, they'll be in a strong position. And if you think about it, so will Walker. Everyone's hoping the player gets a chance to show his full potential, much like Anthony Volpe. Volpe, SS Yankees. The team has put a lot of pressure on him by passing on 2 big-name free agent shortstops in a row. They hope that he'll be a star with many skills. Although his performance in 2021 did make some people worry about how his uppercut-like swing would do against better pitchers. But Volpe has always gotten high marks for making changes and making the most of his raw talent. With his 22nd birthday coming up in April, he'll probably get a chance to prove himself in the Bronx soon. Although, I still think that they shouldn't rush their best prospect into the major leagues when they already have Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, Oswaldo Cabrera, and Oswaldo Peraza on the team. Since the guy hasn't played much above AA, they should give him more chances to face pitchers at higher levels and ease him into a role in the major leagues. Also, given how much Yankees fans complain about shortstop, many people have high expectations of him, and bringing him into the spotlight slowly should make it easy for a young player who the team hopes will become a star. So now, let's talk about the rookie who may add another great starting pitcher to the National League champions, Andrew Painter, RHP Phillies. He was the first player who was picked by the Phillies in 2021, and since then has moved quickly up the ranks. And this pitcher with the highest ceiling, according to MLB Pipeline and Baseball America, doesn't turn 20 until April, but he already has impressive control and, yes, triple-digit heat. At the end of his great 2022 season, he moved up to AA. In 28 1/3 innings, he struck out 37 batters and walked 2. And now, there's a chance that he'll join Felix Hernandez and Julio Urias as the only teenagers to start a major league game since 1995. Speaking of, do you think the Orioles pitcher will have as much success as a rookie? Grayson Rodriguez, RHP Orioles. Yes, according to Baseball Prospectus, the Orioles have the best overall prospect and the best pitching prospect in all of baseball. Although, he's one spot behind the next name on this list according to Baseball America. He almost certainly would have made his debut in Baltimore with Rutschman and Henderson if he hadn't hurt his lat and had to miss a few games. He might only have to answer the question of how long it'll last. This is a classic ace profile, a fastball that can get whiffs up in the zone, a devastating slider, a huge changeup, and 2 more pitches that he might not even need to win in the majors, along with a lack of experience pitching more than 4 or 5 innings per start, which is very common these days. And last but not least, I've got the player who got way more attention than any other prospect in 2022. Yes, I'm talking about the one and only Jackson Chourio, OF Brewers. Let's just say he went from A-ball to AA in just 18 months, teasing scouts with a huge power surge and the kind of athleticism that made them think he'd be a great center field star for a team. Baseball America thought he was the 3rd best prospect all around. For real though, guys, that's a really big deal. So these were all of MLB's greatest rookie prospects for 2023. Who do you think is going to make it this year? See you in the next video.